Happy greetings, everyone, and happy World Kindness Day. My name is Crystal Forman. I am the owner and educator of Holistic Wellness and Health, where we make healthy living easy, nutritious, delicious, and fun, with a focus on plant-based foods to help you live a healthier and more vibrant life. Today, we are going to make three dishes, and they are holiday themed. So we're making a Senegalese peanut butter or peanut stew. So we're using sweet potato and peanut to make this stew. We're also going to make sautéed kohlrabi and vegan cornbread. So we have the holidays are upon us, and this stew is a great stew to make for the holidays as well as for Kwanzaa. So not too early to start planning that out. We're going to get started with our stew first. And so it's a Senegalese sweet potato peanut stew, also known as mafe. There are different versions of this stew. It's made throughout Africa, mostly West Africa is where you'll see it. I'm going to start with my oil. I'm using grapeseed oil today. I'm just putting it in the pan. So the recipe will be on the website either tonight or tomorrow. The recipe is just a single recipe that's served 4 people. I'm making a double recipe here. So it's going to be, everything I'm doing is doubling it. So I have the equivalent of 2 diced medium onions here. So we're going to put that in just a moment. I'm just going to let my oil get hot. And while that's happening, I'm going to dice up my sweet potatoes. So these are Japanese sweet potatoes from that are received from Moon Valley Farms, CSA. So if you are here live, say hello and say live, hashtag live, let me know you're here. If you're watching the replay, put in hashtag replay.
And once again, can you just let people know what you are doing again?
So we are making Senegalese sweet potato peanut stew. And we will also make sautéed kohlrabi, which is, this is the kohlrabi plant. It's in the brassica family. So we're going to use this. This also came from Moon Valley Farms CSA share. So a lot of people are not used to this. Actually, if you look at it like pretty closely, even the leaves, they look a lot like collard greens. So it's in the same family as our collards and kale and broccoli. So we're going to use that. And then we are going to make vegan cornbread. So I can show you all beautiful finished product. So this is what we'll be making. Yes. 100% cholesterol free. So our oil's getting hot here. I'm going to go in and put my onions in, diced onions. And I have my heat on high. While that is cooking, so I can show you all the Japanese sweet potato here. So it's kind of purplish on the outside and white on the inside. It's actually a firmer sweet potato than like yellow and orange ones that we're used to.
Leah Soul says hi.
Hi. Thanks for joining in. They are about the same sweetness as the yellow and orange sweet potato. Recipe calls for 2 medium, but these are a little smaller, so I'm going to use 5 of these today. It's a very forgiving recipe, so you can add as much as you want because it is a stew, it's going to be chunky.
Where does that sweet potato originate?
Japan. So it's, which one? Is that one? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's from Japan. So this is like multicultural because we're mixing different cultures all over the world. It's all good. This is what we had available, so this is what I'm using. Obviously, use what you have. And this is a great, it has a lot of the same minerals as the yellow sweet potato. So you can use this, like some people say it's a cross between a sweet potato and a russet. I just think it's a nice, like a denser sweet potato. Bakes really well, so it's a good one to use for soups and stews.
And that was Moon Valley Farm, right?
Moon Valley Farm. Yeah, this is part of their CSA share. So they have an extended CSA share. So a lot of CSAs have stopped, but they will continue going through the winter. They have composite so they can grow all year. Our onions are.
Where are they located? Moon Valley Farm.
Moon Valley Farm is located in Frederick, Maryland, but they provide CSA shares to a lot of different locations. I pick mine up at Mom's, but they have locations all over Maryland where they do in different days of the week. So this was in today's box. I leave the skin on because I know it's organic. I know that they do not use any harmful chemicals or pesticides, herbicides to grow these. The skin has a lot of potassium in it, so you don't want to throw that away unless you're washing your potassium. Let that continue to cook. We have our zucchini here. This is from one of the boxes from the Plantation Park Heights Urban Garden from last week. So we have some already diced in half. So I'll just show you all how we're doing that. So I'm just taking the end off. So you know this is a zucchini and not a cucumber because of this little end here. This is where it comes off of the flower. You can cut both ends. And then I'm going to slice it in half. And I'll put the two next to each other. And then this one straight down about a quarter of an inch. There you go. So this half moon shape. My onions are starting to get translucent. While that is going, I'm going to go in and put in 3 garlic cloves. The recipe calls for 2, but this is a really large one, so I'm going to use just these 3 here. And I'm running out of time. So I'm just going to take off the ends and peel off the outer layer. So this is what the garlic clove looks like when it's fresh. You can get your hands on fresh garlic. That's the best. It has allicin in it, which has anti-inflammatory properties. It also helps build up the immune system, which of course we all need to continuously work on. With all of the stressors that are out there, as well as it's flu season, cold season, and COVID is still going on as well. And you can finely dice this, or you can use a mincer as well. I'm going to just finely dice today. Does anyone have any questions about anything?
Not yet.
Right. Try to get to this stuff. Just dicing this up, and then we're going to start adding our veggies in.
Is there a time when you prefer diced versus pressed?
If I want the texture of the garlic, then I will leave it like this. And this is a stew, so I like to have a lot of different textures in the stew. I do like my garlic pressed, and that like minces it up really well. So it's a great way to get more flavor out of it. I like to use both. If you don't have fresh garlic, you can use garlic powder. If you have the dried minced garlic, that works well in this as well. Just gonna put the rest of this garlic in. If you're going to make like a smooth soup or something like that, like a blended soup, then I wouldn't worry about how fine I'm dicing it. But I like to have a little bit of chunks in here. And my family likes garlic, so. And it's extremely healthy. Just one more. And then we have our carrots already sliced here. These carrots are from our friends at the Greener Garden Urban Farm in East Baltimore City. So you can get a whole one like this. You can order from them direct. Just go to their go to the Facebook page or their website, and you can just call them and order. Most of the farm stands are closed now. The farm stands they would go to, so they do take product orders. That is looking good. I'm gonna add our zucchini in here. And our carrots. This is also a very colorful dish. So you all know I like to tell you all the different colors of the rainbow. And this dish actually, I think it has all of the colors. Got the purple on the outside of the sweet potato. Yeah, it's pretty much everything. Awesome. And put my sweet potatoes in as well. You can slice it up a little smaller if you want to. Totally up to you. Just want it nice and chunky. I'm going to add one more of our Japanese sweet potato here.
Fit Thick says hello.
Hello. I'm just slicing this through. So for those who are just joining in, we are making Senegalese sweet potato peanut stew. We're also making Sautéed Kohlrabi and vegan cornbread. So far, I've used grapeseed oil. I have my diced onions and garlic in here. I just put in the carrots, zucchini, and the Japanese sweet potato. And I'm about to add 2 cans, the equivalent of 2 cans of diced tomatoes. And I'm not going to use broth today. Like liquid broth, I'm using the broth base. So I'm going to add in 2 cups of water. This is my favorite one to use. So I'm doubling this. 4 cups of water. Then my broth base. I'm just going to end up using the rest of this up. I'm not going to measure it out. I'm just going in there. So for this, it's 2 teaspoons for 1 cup of water. That's the measurement if you for ratio for broth. What I love about this is you can control the amount of flavor you want to add. So you can add little bit or more, however you want to do it. That's in there. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of curry powder and 2 tablespoons of dried thyme. You can use fresh thyme as well. About the equal ratio for thyme. I'm gonna let it get nice and hot again, and then I'll add our peanut butter to this. The peanut butter will add protein to this and make it a lot thicker. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of salt to this. The recipe calls for teaspoons, so it'll be 2 teaspoons, but I'm just gonna add a teaspoon right now. I feel like I need to add more. All right, and that is that. So we're just gonna let this get hot again. Look at all these beautiful colors. Really, you eat it just like this, as a soup. Just let it cook and serve it with rice or quinoa. But we are going to add our peanut butter to make it an actual peanut stew. So that is that. And we have that on high heat. So once it starts really boiling, then we'll add our peanut butter in there. Next, we are going to do or make, let's make our cornbread next. And for this, it's a vegan cornbread, so we're not using any egg or like regular milk. So I know a lot of you are going to wonder how I'm making this bind because I'm not using flaxseed either. So we have our 2 cups of almond milk or soy milk. I'm using almond milk today. I actually got this almond milk from the Dollar Tree. I know I love the Dollar Tree. It's a thing. 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. I'm using the raw apple cider vinegar, but you can use whatever apple cider vinegar you have. I have not tried this dish with white vinegar, but I would think it would still work. I'm just going to whisk it. And you want to whisk it for about a minute or so, and it actually changes the texture of the milk. Makes it not just a little thicker. It's almost like you're making buttermilk. Well, that is going. I have 1 cup of white flour, or you can use whole wheat flour here. And we're going to let this sit just for a little bit. To our white flour, we're going to add 1½ cups of cornmeal or corn flour.
Erica Fox said she just shared.
Awesome. Thanks, Erica. We're going to add in, this is our 2 teaspoons of baking soda. 1 teaspoon of sea salt. And 6 tablespoons of natural sugar or white sugar. Just mix all of the dry ingredients together. Mix it well. And then to our milk mixture, we're going to add 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, or you can use grapeseed oil for this as well. So we're going to mix it right in. Just whisk it up, and then you're going to add your wet ingredients to your dry ingredients. Super, super simple. No fake egg mix stuff, no trying to make your own vegan egg. Super simple. And it's easy to have my kids do this as well. And it's like the right texture. When you're mixing it, when I first made it, I was like, I thought it was too liquidy, but I just went with it, and it worked out really well. Nice firm texture. I did not need any binder at all. The gluten in our flour actually was enough. So you don't need to feel like you have to go out and get any fancy vegan egg substitutes, or make your own using, like I like to use chia seeds or flax seeds, or even use applesauce when I'm baking in place of egg. But for this, it's totally not necessary. And that is it. Looks very liquidy. It's like, oh my goodness, how long is that going to take? It takes 35 minutes. I'm going to pour this in our pan. I'm actually going to add just a little bit of oil to make it easier for it to come out. Paper towel real quick. And I'm going to go on it. Looks good. Just waiting for it to heat up. Just coat our pan here. Like, you can also use muffin tins, like the muffin tin tray as well. Just pour this in. You'll put it 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 35 minutes. Depending on how your oven heats up, I would check it after 30 minutes. Just make sure it's getting nice and golden brown on top. Cool thing about this being egg free is that you can actually taste the batter,
Mhm.
which I'm tempted to do, but I'm not. But it's good. I tasted the batter from this one from earlier. So this is our finished dish. It has a nice texture. It's nice and firm. It's not too soft, even though this looks concerning. Do not add more flour to it. You don't need to. It will firm up and rise up just like this. I'm going to actually put this over here. Oh, you can say it's okay. I'm going to let this actually get up to temperature. And while that is doing that, let's talk about our kohlrabi. So this is in the brassica family, also known as a cruciferous vegetable. It's related to our broccoli and cauliflower, kale, collards, really everything in that family. You look at the leaf here, it looks a lot like collard greens. So you can saute this up just like you would, or treat it just like you would collard greens. We're going to use all of this today. I'm going to take the end off. So this is, it comes actually when it's growing, you know it's ripe or ready to be harvested because this part comes up above the ground. So this would be where the soil is. I'm going to cut off this end here. So I was excited to see kohlrabi in the box. This is from Valley Farm. This is the first time I've seen anyone sell kohlrabi all year, so this is awesome. Let me see. I'm going to peel. Depending on how tender, this actually feels like it doesn't need to be peeled, but I'm going to peel it anyway. Use a paring knife. This is like a medium small. They can get really big. Like you can get kohlrabi's like really huge. This is a nice tender size. I feel like I don't need to peel it. It's not very hard at all. I think I'm going to leave it alone. I don't want to lose too much. So take off the end of this one as well. So you can put this in soup stock, make your own like broth if you want to. We're going to remove our grains and stems. This goes in towards the end of our cooking process. And I am going to have us go into the kitchen for this, and after I dice it up. I'm just cutting it in half here. And I like to have a flat surface when cutting. I'm just going to slice right through.
That's really something how it has many stems coming from the same. Is that a, yeah.
Yeah, this is the way nature designed it. I don't know why, because each, like, when you look at different brassicas, a lot of them have a lot of similarities within them. Someone has a question?
Yeah, Rosita just came in, and cousin Rosita, and she's asking, well, she just came in, and she's asking what you're cutting up right now.
Oh, so this is a kohlrabi. It's in the brassica family. So it was like this. These are the leafy greens. So this kind of looks like collard greens. You can just treat it just the same. And I'm cutting up the bulb part now. I just took off the end. So we're making sauteed kohlrabi. And it's spelled Kohlrabi.
And you generally would have to get that from a CSA or a fancy grocery store.
Yep. Like fancy grocery store or farm stand. This year I didn't see it, but I also didn't go to a lot of farmers markets this year. So somebody might have had it out there. I just didn't see it. And I really didn't actually ask any of the farmers if they had it. I just didn't see anyone growing it.
Oh, and Joanna Rader just chimed in. She says, hi, great info.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining in live. So we have our kohlrabi here. This is the bulb part. I'm going to go in and cut up our stems or our leaves. So I'm going to use the stems for this dish. Sometimes you all see me remove the stems for certain brassica dishes. This one we're using all of it. I'm going to line up our leaves here.
Tavon Sanders says hi, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, hello. And happy World Kindness Day. Yes, it's always a good day to be kind.
Oh, is it bitter, the kohlrabi? Can you eat
No,
the greens?
It's not bitter. You can't eat the greens as a salad. You can actually put this like in your salad, like just a raw salad. So you can eat this raw, and it's not bitter like some people find kale a little bitter, especially if it hasn't gotten the frost. We have had a few cold days recently, so pretty much all of the brassicas are going to be a little sweeter now than if they were harvested like a month ago. But yeah, this is not super bitter at all. Yeah, this is a good eating green. Do a lot with it. All right, so just lay it on top of each other, slice it in half, and slice it again. And just put those on top of each other. And finally, dice here. So we're going to check on our stew in a moment. I think it's ready for the peanut butter. So for those who just joined in, we're also making a Senegalese sweet potato peanut stew. So ooh, nice, looks good. So starting to sizzle here. I'm going to go in and add 1 cup of chunky peanut butter. Use like the natural peanut butter. You can use smooth as well. If you're allergic to peanut butter, you can use sunflower butter. I've done this recipe with sunflower butter for people who have nut allergies, and it turned out really well. It's not traditional, but it's all good.
And Cousin Rosita asks if the greens are tender, the kohlrabi greens.
The greens are more tender than collard greens, so but they won't fall apart like some other greens. It's tender and the same tenderness as like a dinosaur kale. So like not the curly kale, but little more tender than curly kale. Here we go. But you can treat it really just like any of the other leaves of the brassicas. We have our peanut butter here. Just let this melt in. This is going to thicken our liquid here. It's adding a nice amount of zinc to our dish. Zinc is also very important for our immune system. It helps your innate immune system and T cell production when you start feeling like you're getting sick. So a lot of people will take like zinc tablets, but this is or zinc lozenges. But this is a great way to get your zinc naturally. Just mixing all that in, and top back on. So we're going to move over to the stove for this dish. That's what we're doing. So, let's see some of our onions and our kohlrabi here. And our just grab my oil. Salt and pepper. It's a super easy dish we're doing here. Gonna add some grapeseed oil to my frying pan. Use sauteed pan or wok. And kohlrabi is actually it's a brassica, but it's from Asia. So you'll see it. A lot of places will sell tap soy or bok choy. Sometimes they'll have this. I'm going to add my onions. This is 2 medium diced yellow onions. And the recipe calls for 1 kohlrabi, but I'm using 2. They're kind of on a small medium size. So I am going to, I just want to do 2 and add more onions. You can also add bell peppers to this if you have that available on there. And there were peppers in our CSA box. You can add that in. I'm going to use some pink Himalayan salt. So those are washed know that I love the pink Himalayan salt. It has 84 minerals in it. It hasn't been bleached. It has like nice natural taste and flavor, clean taste to it. And if you use like iodinized salt, it only has 2 minerals and it's been bleached, and you can kind of taste the chemicals. I'm going to add some fresh black pepper. And the oven is at 400 degrees, so I'm going to add this in. So like I said before, it looks liquidy. You start shaking when I'm putting it in there, but it will become nice and firm. So I'm going to cut some in a moment, but let's get this going. So letting the onions get a little chance to be spent, and then we'll start adding our pulp in. This is a quick dish. It only takes about 8 to 10 minutes. So if you see this in the store or at the farmer's market and like it looks kind of alien to you, don't be afraid of it. It's truly just another brassica, and you can use it in place of a lot of other dishes that call for like broccoli or cauliflower or salad greens. So just let this cook for a few minutes, and then we'll add our greens towards the end. Now, I do have this on a medium high right now. So while this is cooking, let's go and cut our cornbread. I'm sure some of you all are wondering what this is. So let me get my, actually while I'm getting my other knife out, can you show them this awesome looking stew here?
Smells so good.
It does smell good.
And the peanut butter is all melted in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's nicely. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Came out nice and clean.
Oh yeah, nice.
And I want to eat this right now too.
Good. Oh.
I think you don't camera.
No, it's okay.
You don't want to see me eat. I can't eat it, but you all will know how to make it yourself. So beautiful, nice texture cornbread. It looks and tastes just like cornbread. If you want to use less sugar, I did put in 6 tablespoons of sugar, which was a nice amount of cornbread. Some people like the cornbread really sweet. Some people like to add corn to it, which I've done that as well. Corn kernels work well with this recipe. Or you can use less sugar if you don't want to use as much. So 2 tablespoons. I've done this recipe with 2 tablespoons of sugar, and it works out well. So however you want to do it.
Do the corn kernels add like a moisture to it, like to make it?
Just texture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some people like some restaurants who put like the corn kernels in.
Yeah.
That's really all it is.
Okay.
It's more for texture, and some people use that. So let's come back over. Our onions.
Leah says it looks great.
Thank you. So, I mean, we have Thanksgiving is what I call it. Thanksgiving is coming up. We have all the holidays, a bunch of holidays in December. Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Boxing Day, my birthday, everything's coming up. So, this is like, and New Year's. So, like, for New Year's, cornbread is a very popular dish to eat. So you can make this and take it to family gatherings, if anyone's doing family gatherings, or even Zoom gatherings with your family. And you don't have to tell them you didn't put egg in it. It's cornbread. Okay. So it tastes good. That's all they care about. That's cornbread. And actually, it's friendlier for people who do have allergies. You can make it a gluten-free. I've done that for one of my friends who has a gluten-free diet. I made the cornbread with gluten-free flour, and that turned out well.
And the winter solstice is coming up as well.
Winter solstice, all types of reasons to celebrate. We have reasons to celebrate. And be kind. For those who just tuned in, it is World Kindness Day. The holiday started, I think, in 1997. So I don't think it's well known yet, but really every day should be Kindness Day. Yeah.
And Leah asks, what is your favorite birthday meal and cake? Her birthday's next month as well.
Oh, awesome. Ooh, favorite. I like a lot of sweets. Carrot cake. I like carrot cake. A meal, is that?
Yeah, first favorite birthday meal.
Vegan mac and cheese. Candy yams. And either like a fried tofu or the vegan stretch that I did a few weeks ago. I like to have that as well. But yeah, good vegan mac and cheese and candy yams, I'm happy. And something green with it. I like my smoky greens. So like smoky vegan greens are good. And I'm good and happy. And really, I like sweet stuff, so it doesn't matter. Everything, but I'm not a fan of pumpkin pie. That's the only thing. And I didn't start liking cheesecake until I became vegan. I like vegan cheesecake. And my family likes it too, and they love cheesecake. So you can get your family to try a lot of different things. My family loves seafood, and they really like the vegan shrimp too. So if you go to the holidays and you might be spending time with people who are not vegan, you can introduce them to just different options out there and stuff like this. This is with veggies. It doesn't have to, you don't have to add anything to it to make it non-vegan. You can use the different oils that are not butter and just flavor it up. So I'm keeping it simple for this moment with salt and pepper, but garlic powder and garlic salt or onion powder would be good in this. Like I said earlier, if you have peppers, bell peppers, you can add that in. If you like spicy, you can add jalapeno pepper. And this is done. Just let that stay in our heat for a little while. I can hear our stew is bubbling over, so we're going to check on our stew again. I should say bubbling up. So getting nice and tender. So our goal is just to have our veggies tender here. Let all the flavors meld in. This soup tastes better like 2 hours later, and even more so like the next day. It is like a whole another level of flavor.
Leah says your vegan seafood class was the best.
Yes, that's right. You were there for that. You made the vegan scallops with us. So I got to do that. Introduce my family to some vegan scallops. Oh, they're getting excited over here. Okay. So I have to say, like, you never know what influence you're having. Like, I've brought vegan food over for the holidays, greens and stuff, and like there were still like other side dishes with meat as well. Just like having people introduce, but having peers introduce food. So for my families, having them have someone in their Bible study who's vegan, introduce them to a lot of stuff. And so even though I've been trying to introduce or been introducing things for years, having someone like a peer introduce it is awesome. So this has made it even easier to like really promote it, and it's not just their daughter or just their cousin or somebody telling them, oh, try this. Like, just so be gentle with people out there, promoting healthy plant-based foods and promoting veganism as well. Because I know not all vegans are necessarily plant-based, but just being kind when you're talking about, the benefits of being plant-based, whether it's for the health, for your environment, for other people, for all other beings on the planet. Just being kind about it is the best way to go, so you're not being antagonistic, and just making it a welcoming thing. Food tastes good. People are willing to, try it, and you don't have to say necessarily that it's vegan. You don't want to trick people like with things that they might be allergic to, or like not tell them it's soy or something like that. But just it's veggies. Like let people try it, and yeah, just be cool and kind about it all. But my family's been really embracing. When I brought the vegan shrimp, I wasn't sure. I know I love it. I haven't had shrimp in like over a decade, so it's been a while. But I knew that it was close, and it has a great texture. And so, just introducing people to things, and for people who are new, just keep on trying new things. Sometimes you might find a vegan cheese that you're not too a fan of, and just try some other ones. There's some really good ones out there, and you can make your own. So when I make my mac and cheese, I actually make my own cheese for that, make my own cheese sauce, and it's not difficult. There's several different steps to that one though, but it in reality is not hard to make. No more so than when I was making my mac and cheese before from scratch.
Leah says she brings vegan cheese spreads to Thanksgiving as an appetizer.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. There's some good ones. Like it's so much easier to be plant-based and vegan now than what it was just 3 years ago, and definitely more so than 10 years ago. Even though I mean it wasn't hard. I would say that's because I already knew how to cook, but it's just so easy. Like just even going out, a lot of places are vegan friendly. My father showed me a magazine today that had vegan recipes that like talking about plant-based, and a magazine that normally would not have talked about. This was a men's magazine that would not have talked about it. So it's becoming more mainstream, which is beneficial to everyone for their health and for the health of their families, as well as for our environment. So and for all beings. So that's that. This is pretty much it. You can see like this is thickened up quite a bit. So when you looked at it earlier, it was kind of brothy and like a clear base, but now it's nice and thick. And this is going to thicken up even more once I turn it off. We have some of the starches from our potatoes in here that'll make it nice and thick, creamy sauce. You can serve this just like this as is. You can serve it with rice, quinoa, really anything you want to serve it with. Today we're going to serve it with our cornbread, and we have our sautéed kohlrabi to go with it. So I'm going to spring this over. So this is everything, everyone. So today we made our Senegalese sweet potato and peanut stew, sautéed kohlrabi, and our cornbread. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I go live every Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for our Live at 5. On Mondays now that I'm going to the Plantation Park Heights, I'll be doing more workshops and just like smaller videos, gardening videos on Mondays. Fridays, I still plan on doing the Live at 5 cooking demos using our local farm fresh produce. And on Thursdays, on the first and third Thursday of the month, I plan to go to the Plantation Park Heights Urban Garden to use produce from the produce boxes as well as from the farm. They'll be growing all year as well. And that will be at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And I will be doing that on Instagram. So Mondays and Fridays will be YouTube and Facebook, Holistic Wellness and Health. Make sure you share this with others who you think can benefit from this knowledge. And I will see you next time. Peace and blessings, everyone.